How is it going, guys? Today we are gonna be making a pretty big modification to the WRX, and we're gonna be drilling some holes because we will be installing, hold on, this actually isn't the right box. Thought it was a little light. We're gonna be installing this guy right here, which is the AeroflowDynamics V3 STI Spoiler. Now, we have one of their duckbills installed on the car right now. It's been on there for about a year, and honestly, I don't mind this, but I think it's time to change it up. So obviously, we need to get this duckbill off of the car, then we can assemble the spoiler, and then figure out where we need to drill the hole. Now, like I said, this has been on here for about a year now, so it probably isn't gonna come off very easily. I did a damn good job putting this on here. The corners aren't lifted up or anything, so it should be fun. My go-to process when removing things like this is using a heat gun and some sort of fishing line. The heat gun is used to heat up the adhesive to make it soft and more pliable, and then we use the fishing line to get underneath whatever it is you're removing and essentially slice through the double-sided tape to allow us to lift this off. Keep in mind, if whatever you're removing has been on the car for quite some time, it is likely that there's a lot of dirt and grime that have been stuck underneath it, and it's gonna look pretty bad under there, and you're gonna want to do some sort of paint correction once you have it off. I'm hoping that since this has been on the car for just a year, that's not the case, but we're gonna find out. I've got the fishing line wrapped around my fingers here. Highly suggest you wear some sort of gloves, otherwise your fingers are gonna hit you. But we're gonna work slowly from the outside in, and we're just gonna go back and forth to slice through the double-sided tape. And once you feel it get tough, we just start heating it up again. I've gotten to about halfway now, so I've used a little plastic pry tool underneath or on top of a microfiber to give me some leverage here. And now, because I can get my fingers underneath here, I can use it as leverage to kind of pull up on this to release, hopefully, the rest of the adhesive. Perfect. Like I had mentioned, it is pretty dirty under here. Could be a lot worse, but there's some dirt and grime that have built up in the lower corner edges here that I'll need to clean off. Obviously, we have some adhesive left, and so I'm gonna have to work to get this all cleaned up. I usually use this stuff from 3M called General Purpose Adhesive Cleaner. This stuff works pretty well. I've heard though it doesn't play well with like plastic trim, so be careful if you use this, but it does work well on leftover adhesive. So let's work on this stuff. I've got most of the large strips of the double-sided tape removed from the trunk, but it did leave adhesive all around, and I don't want to just start going at it with a microfiber and the adhesive remover because it's still dirty. So what we're gonna do is take the car to the wash real quick, and then we can come back and deal with the adhesive. We are back from the car wash. It's relatively clean now. The pressure washer did get off most of the leftover bits of the double-sided tape, but there still is some residue left over, so we're gonna use this to clean it off, and then we can assemble the wing. We are ready to put this thing together. I think I said this was the V3, but there is a V3.5 sticker on this. So they've gone through a couple different revisions. This is supposed to be the easiest one to install, and they've stiffened it up a bit to make it more sturdy and less likely to flex once you have it installed. I'm hoping everything goes smoothly. Let's cross our fingers and hope for the best. Drilling templates, base plates, end plates. Ooh, it looks like we've got something a little bit extra in here. I think this is a gurney flap that we can add on there. Hardware. This here is everything you get with the kit. You have the airfoil, which is the center section. You've got the 2 bases and the 2 end plates, as well as the hardware that includes everything you need to put this together. Obviously, we're gonna be drilling some holes, so you need a drill and drill bits. I'd also recommend you get some step drill bits to enlarge some of the holes. That's gonna make it a bit easier. I'll get to the sizing once we get to that part. We're gonna start by applying the foam gasket to the underside of the base plate. I already did this side here, so that's what it should look like. And there is a sort of lip that goes around the edge here, and you want to just be on the inner side of that lip, and that's going to help to keep water and other debris from getting underneath of this. Next, grab the end plates and the studs that are included in the hardware kit, and you can utilize a 3mm Allen key to thread these into the 5 holes. Once you have all the studs on there, we can install the end plate onto the center portion. Now they are labeled left and right, so you shouldn't be able to mix it up. Plus they only fit one way. We'll put that on there, and then we're gonna grab a washer and then a crush washer and put it on the stud. And then the nut. Now they provide this small 10mm wrench here, or you can just use your own, which will probably be a bit easier. Now you want these to be tight, but don't go ham on them and over tighten them. Just need them to be snug. We'll slide the base plates on next and secure them using the same hardware. All right, we've got the spoiler installed. Now it's time to drill some holes. To get to the areas that we need to on the trunk to drill the holes, we need to remove this cover that's just held in place with some pop clips. So grab a flathead screwdriver or a plastic trim removal tool and pop these out, and then we can pull the cover off. The first hole we are going to be drilling is through this opening right here. There is another piece of sheet metal right above here with a smaller hole, and we're going to be drilling straight through that into the top of the trunk using a 5/16 drill bit. So make sure you're drilling straight through and not at some weird angle, and we're going to use this hole to align the other 2 holes on this side. Here we go. We've got the first hole drilled, the hardest one. Like I said, you drill through this opening here. There's another piece of sheet metal that helps guide you. And sure enough, we now have 1 hole in our trunk. Let's figure out the rest of them. Now that we have the first 2 holes drilled, we can take the included template. We're gonna line it up on the front corner of the trunk. And once you have that lined up, the rearmost hole should be aligned with the template, which it luckily does on this side. If you're doing the other side, you just flip it over. So let me line this up again. And what we're gonna do is take some masking tape or painter's tape, and then we are going to put it underneath the other 2 holes so that we can mark them, and it's gonna sort of help prevent the paint from chipping when we drill through the holes. There we go. Okay, so let me grab some masking tape here. Okay, grab a mark these holes. So I'm gonna go do the same thing on the other side, and then we can drill the rest of them. When you're drilling these other 2 holes, keep this in mind. When the trunk's closed, the middle one you can drill all the way through without any worry. This front one here, you only want to drill through the top layer of the trunk if it's closed, because if you drill through both layers, you're gonna pierce through the trunk gasket, which you obviously don't want to do. So for this front one here, just drill through the top layer and then open up the trunk, either prop it up with your hand or a box or something, and then you could drill through the second layer. We've got all 6 of those holes drilled. We just need to finish drilling the 2 holes in the front. So like I said, open up your trunk, prop it open. I'm just gonna put my body weight on it to keep it from closing. And then we're gonna drill through that second layer. Once we have all the holes drilled, we can take that tape off. After you've drilled those holes, I highly recommend you take some touch-up paint and paint the edges of all of those holes that you just drilled to help prevent any rust from forming on your trunk. I don't have any right now. I have some on order, but it's not gonna show up until next week. So I'm gonna install the wing, and then once it comes, I'll take it off, paint the edges, and reinstall it on the car. Our next step is gonna be enlarging this hole on the front here so that we can fit this washer through there. So what we're gonna use is a step bit, and we're gonna enlarge this to 11/16, which is just enough room for this to fit through there. We've got all the holes drilled and ready to go. You can see that 2 of the holes utilize openings that are there from the factory, and then we had to enlarge one of the holes that we drilled for the front hole here. And if you're careful, you can make it look like an OEM hole and keep it nice and clean. You can't really tell. I did take a deburring tool and go around all the holes to clean them up and make sure they didn't look ragged. And like I said, I'm gonna touch them up with paint once I get my hands on that, but now we can work on getting the spoiler mounted. We're gonna be installing the hardware in the rearmost hole first, so this hole right here. And if you take a look in there, you can see that there is a piece of sheet metal in between the opening of the hole and the top layer of the trunk. So what we need to do is take the plastic spacer that's included, and we need to install this into the space between that second layer and the top layer. Now, if you have small hands, you should be able to reach through this opening right here to insert the spacer into that opening. I also put a small piece of masking tape so that I have something that's easier to hold. If you have larger hands, I highly suggest you find someone with smaller hands that can insert their hand into this, because it's going to be a lot easier for them. So I've got the spacer here. I'm gonna slide my hand in here and insert it into that gap. And then we're gonna take the longer bolt, put a crush washer and flat washer in there, and then insert it into the hole. Also, fair warning, you wanna be really careful when you're inserting hardware into these holes, because if you drop a washer, a bolt, or the spacer or whatever, it is pretty difficult to fish it out without actually taking the trunk off. Ask me how I know. But be really careful when you're inserting the hardware so you don't drop anything and then turn this into a few hours of work. You're gonna wanna have someone help you hold the spoiler in place while you keep the hardware in the hole so it doesn't fall out when you have the trunk down. And then you just want to hand tighten it. Don't go super tight. You wanna leave it a little loose right now, just so we can get all the other holes lined up. Once you have these 2 bolts installed, you can open up the trunk and the spoiler will just hang there. And then we just need to align the rest of the holes, and hopefully your holes line up. I've got all the bolts tightened down and the spoiler is now secure, so we can reinstall this cover here. Now we are good to go. I almost forgot we still need to install the gurney flap onto our STI spoiler. So I've peeled off some of the backing here and created tabs just on this end. You don't want to just peel all of it, because then if you stick it on, it's probably not gonna come off very easily. This way, we can take our time lining it up, and it's only gonna stick in one spot, and once we're ready, we can pull the backing off from underneath it. So I'm just gonna line this up to where I want it. Make sure the spacing is even. That looks good there. And we're gonna press this down to ensure that it doesn't fly off when we're driving on the interstate somewhere. And there we go, guys. We are done. And there you have it, guys. We have got the STI spoiler and the gurney flap installed on our WRX. And now we can slap an STI badge on this thing. That's how that works, right? I'm just kidding. We are not gonna do that, but I do think that with the spoiler and especially with the gurney flap installed, it helps to balance out the rear end of the car, because with the added height of the painted stuff, it helps to even out with the black plastic on the bottom of the bumper. And the installation was a breeze. It was, I think, literally 16 nuts and bolts that we had to deal with. Yes, we had to drill the 6 holes and enlarge 2 of them, which can be frightening at first, but once you get through that, you just slap the wing on there and you're done. If you're wanting to do this yourself, don't be worried. It's really not that difficult. Now, if you want to pick one of these up for it yourself, the link will be down in the description, and you can actually use my discount code, which is literally my name, Kevin Vo, and that gets you 10% off anything on the AeroflowDynamics website. So you can pick up the spoiler, the duckbill, or this is a gurney flap, or you can get a duckbill spoiler, or even a set of wheels, a lip kit, or an exhaust, and all of that is 10% off using that code. So again, the link will be down in the description. If you guys have any questions whatsoever, comment down below. I am always happy to help. But hopefully you guys are enjoying the content. If you are, make sure to hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up. I'm gonna be out at Subi Fest Midwest this Sunday, so if you are in the area, stop by the Driven Media booth to say hi. But that is gonna do it for today. I will see you guys next time.